A case is unfolding at The Ohio State University that could test the state's employment and disability laws. When does a person who is in the middle of a psychotic break become responsible for their actions?
A tenured professor who has the backing of dozens of other faculty members is fighting to get her job back, a job she held for 13 years. The university says she resigned in a profanity-laced email to the head of her department. But Dr. Angela Bryant has a different story.
I honestly don't have any memory actually of sending that email. If you read it, it clearly reads to me not as a resignation, but a cry for help.
A cry for help that followed weeks of escalating emotional trauma, concern from coworkers and family members, and finally admission to Harding Hospital, a behavioral health center on the campus of Ohio State, where Angela Bryant was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and stabilized. A social worker trying to help her secure family leave from her job was told Dr. Bryant had already resigned.
He is the one who actually got me permission to even email to rescind that resignation and let them know that that was a result of my mental health crisis.
But Professor Bryant was told by OSU there was no going back. Her resignation was final. You were being treated for a medical crisis at Ohio State University Hospital, and now the university won't accept the diagnosis?
Yes, there's a definite irony.
She took her case to the university's Committee on Academic Freedom and Responsibility that found her credible and recommended she be reinstated. Then the University Senate, the governing body for faculty, also condemned the university's refusal to restore her job, saying they found no evidence anyone from OSU ever asked the simple question, "Are you okay?" Concluding, in a university dedicated to the health and well-being of students and staff, we find this to be an egregious failing.
They knew exactly what was happening every step of the way, and they didn't advocate for me. They actually used it as an excuse to get rid of me.
The response to the Senate from University President Christina Johnson and Provost Melissa Gilliam: personnel issues are complex, and the Senate did not have complete and accurate information. Dr. Bryant says she had a history of excellent performance reviews. 36 colleagues signed a letter of support. She fears because of what happened to her, others in mental crisis will be afraid to do what she did, seek help, and come forward.
It is very difficult, Colleen, because the reality is there's still a lot of stigma around mental health issues, and they are medical issues. There's no difference between someone like me being diagnosed with bipolar disorder as somebody who has type 1 diabetes. I had issues with medication and in my treatment. That can also happen when you have diabetes.
In a statement, Ohio State University said, in part, it is committed to supporting the health and well-being of its staff and students, and points out the Ohio Civil Rights Commission affirmed its handling of this employment matter. Now, this is the report from the Civil Rights Commission. It concludes the university does not have a policy that allows someone to rescind a resignation. And they also said Dr. Bryant failed to supply medical documentation to support her leave. She says that's because at the time she was incompetent. So her next petition might have to go to a court. And you can read the entire report from the University Senate as well as the statement from OSU at NBC4i.com.